What's the most unfair punishment you received as a child? When I was 11, my teacher accused me of stealing the class hamster. I spent 2 weeks in detention while the real thief watched me suffer. The hamster wasn't even missing. Mrs. Wilson had taken it home for the weekend and forgotten to tell anyone. It started on a Monday morning. Our classroom pet, Whiskers, wasn't in his cage. Mrs. Wilson immediately called us all to the front of the room, her face tight with anger. "Someone has taken Whiskers," she announced. "Until the guilty person confesses, everyone loses recess privileges." The class erupted in protests. I stayed quiet, assuming the hamster would turn up. I'd never even touched Whiskers. I was allergic to rodents, a fact documented in my school medical records. By Wednesday, with no hamster and no confession, Mrs. Wilson's patience snapped. During math, she suddenly pointed at me. "Emma, I need to speak with you in the hallway." My stomach dropped as 24 pairs of eyes followed me out. In the hallway, she crossed her arms. "Several students saw you near the cage last Friday afternoon." "I was turning in my assignment," I explained. "Your desk is right next to the cage." She didn't believe me. "Your history of lying makes this difficult to accept." My history of lying was a single incident in 3rd grade when I'd said I'd finished a book I hadn't. One mistake, 2 years earlier. "I'm allergic to hamsters," I reminded her. "It's in my records." "Allergies wouldn't stop someone determined to cause trouble," she replied. "Until you confess, you'll serve detention every day after school." That afternoon, I sat alone in detention while my classmates attended the science fair I'd spent weeks preparing for. My volcano project sat unviewed in the gym. My parents believed me, but thought I should work it out with my teacher as a learning experience. They didn't intervene. Each day in detention, Mrs. Wilson would ask, "Ready to confess?" Each day, I'd shake my head, fighting back tears. By the second Monday, rumors had transformed me into a hamster killer. Kids avoided me in the hallway. Someone taped a crude drawing of a dead hamster to my locker. On Tuesday afternoon, I was serving my 7th detention when the principal walked in with our school secretary. "Rebecca," she said to Mrs. Wilson, "did you take Whiskers home last Friday before the exterminator came?" Mrs. Wilson's face went blank, then flooded with color. "Oh my God," she whispered. "With everything happening with my mother's hospital stay, I completely forgot." The principal looked at me, then back at Mrs. Wilson. "So the hamster has been at your house this entire time?" Mrs. Wilson nodded, unable to meet my eyes. The principal dismissed me from detention. As I gathered my things, I heard her tell Mrs. Wilson, "We'll discuss this tomorrow in my office." I expected an apology the next day. Instead, Mrs. Wilson announced to the class that Whiskers had been found, without mentioning where. She never acknowledged her mistake to me or the class. At lunch, I overheard her telling another teacher, "I still think Emma was planning to take him. Finding him at my house was just coincidental." That afternoon, my dad picked me up from school. Unusual, as I normally took the bus. "We're getting ice cream," he said. In the car, he asked about Whiskers. I told him everything, including what I'd overheard. He turned the car around and drove back to school. Without a word to me, he marched into the principal's office. I waited outside, hearing only muffled voices. 20 minutes later, my dad emerged with the principal and Mrs. Wilson. The principal knelt to my height. "Emma, Mrs. Wilson has something to say to you." Mrs. Wilson's apology was stiff and formal. "I jumped to conclusions without evidence. I was wrong to punish you." The next day, I had a new teacher. Mrs. Wilson had been reassigned to administrative duties.